Hi, today I'm going to be analyzing the song Brenda's Got a Baby by Tupac Shakur and how it connects to social change. The social issues this song focuses on is teen pregnancy, poverty, sexual abuse, lack of social support, and systemic neglect in low-income communities, especially for young black women in the United States. The song tells the story of a 12-year-old girl named Brenda who got pregnant after being sexually abused by a family member. Brenda lives in extreme poverty with no parental guidance, no access to education, especially sexual education, and no support from social institutions. Because of this, she feels trapped, abandoned, and eventually Brenda gives birth alone to her cousin's baby and throws that baby boy away, and later dies while trying to sell crack on the streets and survive. This song is not completely fictional. While some parts are extra for the drama of the song, Tupac actually wrote it after reading a real newspaper article about a similar situation. In this article by New York Times called Cries in the Dark, the 12-year-old mother threw her baby away after being raped by her older cousin and not knowing what to do. But different from the song, the baby was found, rescued, and given to a foster family after the cries were heard. He even later reunited with his birth mom after learning her truth with the help of a journalist that was actually working on a biography about Tupac. During the time the song was released, many neighborhoods in New York City were affected by poverty, underfunded schools, limited access to healthcare, and weak child protection systems. Young girls like Brenda often had no access to sexual education, reproductive healthcare, or any trusted adults to turn to. Instead of blaming Brenda, Tupac criticizes society and the government for failing her, and this song highlights how social problems are often ignored until it's too late. The first concept I'd like to cover is discrimination. Brenda faces discrimination because of her age, gender, race, and social class. Society labels her as irresponsible but ignores the abuse and poverty that shaped her situation. This shows how marginalized groups are often blamed instead of helped. The second concept I'd like to cover that relates to this song is deviant behavior, because some of Brenda's actions, like abandoning her baby or turning to survival strategies on the street, are viewed as deviant by society. However, the song shows that her behavior is a result of her social conditions and not her personal choice. Tupac challenges the idea that deviance comes from bad individuals rather than broken systems. You could also connect this to barriers to change because Brenda faces constant obstacles: poverty, silence around abuse, lack of education, and lack of institutional support, which prevent her from escaping her situation. This song can also connect to feminist theory because it highlights how young women's bodies are controlled, judged, and ignored. Brenda is a victim of sexual violence, and yet she carries all the blame and all of the consequences. Tupac's message is that social problems like teen pregnancy and child neglect are not individual failures, but rather systemic issues that require awareness, education, and support. This song calls on society to take responsibility for protecting vulnerable youth instead of ignoring them. By telling Brenda's story, Tupac gives a voice to people who are usually unheard and forces listeners to confront the uncomfortable truths about inequality. Thank you.